Hello, students. Today we will be doing mean profits, which has been defined under section 2 close 12. Okay, we are doing CPC. This is the chapter number 2 definitions, which we are covering from CK Takwani book. Okay, previous two lectures also I have discussed in those lectures definitions. In first lecture I have discussed the decree definition, decree in detail, and in second lecture I have covered many other definitions. So if you want to watch the previous videos, that will be useful for you. Okay, so in today's lecture we'll be doing the mean profits, right? So let's get started. So, what is the definition of mean profits? Students, see, I have told you that mean profits, where it has been defined under section 2 of 2 close 12 of our CPC. Okay, so if we talk about mean profits, first of all, you should know that mean profits are always related to what? The property. When any person is in possession of is in wrongful possession of any property, then the court consider that he is deriving some profits out of that property. So those are considered as mean profits, which are to be paid to the owner of the property, right? So let's do the definition. See, mean profits of the property. There is a person who is in the wrongful possession. So the person who being in wrongful possession have received something, have received some profits, or if he actually has not received some profits, but if he used his ordinary diligence, he could have received some profits, okay, along with the interest on those profits. What are those called? These are called the mean profits, right? But what is does not include if the person in wrongful possession of the property, if he has made any improvements to the property and he is deriving profits by making the improvement to the property, those will not be included in the mean profits, right? So if we explain this definition, it considered 4 points. It is explained in 4 points. See, first of all, the person is making the profit. Who person? The person who is in the wrongful possession of the property. Okay, he has actually received the profit. Supposingly, if he is in the wrongful possession of the property and if he has rented out the property and he is receiving the rent out of that property and he is keeping that rent to himself and not uh, paying to the owner of the property. So he has actually received the rent. So this is the profit which he is deriving from that property being in the wrongful possession. Okay, or might have received if he has not rented out that property. Okay, if he has not rented out that property, but he could have rented out that property and could have earned the rent which he is not earning right now because he has not rented out the property. So, if he used his ordinary diligence, or if any other person would have been at his place of ordinary prudence, then that what that person could do, he could have rented out the property and he could have earned the profit from that property. Okay, so this is known as that he might have earned with his ordinary prudence the profit. Those are also the, what are those called? These are also called the mean profits, right? And together with interest, he is earning the interest on the mean profits. What are those? These are the mean profits, right? But what is does not include if he has made any kind of improvement over that property, that will not be considered into the mean profits, right? Next, if we do the examples of it, see, first, he has rented the property. See, I have told you that he has rented the property, and if he is receiving 10,000 rupees per month, that he is actually receiving. But he has not rented the property, but he could have earned 8,000, 10,000, any amount. with his ordinary diligence. That will come under the this point, that he could have earned the profit, and the interest will be added on such profits, but it does not include the improvements made by the person who is in the wrongful possession of the property. Okay, so from this definition, what will you learn? That mean profits ensure, what it ensures, that no one benefits from the wrongful possession. The person who is in the possession of the property wrongfully, he cannot be benefited out of that. Okay, the wrongdoer, he must pay what he has earned or what he could have earned along with the interest, but it does not include the improvements made by the person, right? So definition is clear. Now this phrase, I think this phrase might have been clear to you, that the person who is in the wrongful possession, he could have earned the profits with ordinary diligence. Okay, what does it mean? That even if he is in the wrongful possession, but even is in the wrongful possession, but he is not earning anything from the property, but the court will be treated that person that he has earned some property, or he could have reasonably have earned by making the normal efforts. Where is the examples of these? What are these? First is the vacant house. Vacant house, a person has wrongfully occupies a house but leaves it empty. He could have rented it out, okay, and earned the profit from it, but he has not, right? So mean profits are calculated not on the basis of what the plaintiff or the owner has demanded from the court, but what these are calculated on? These are calculated on the reasonable rental value. Okay. Next example, if we see, is farmland which is left uncultivated. Now, the person has illegally possesses the farmland, but he is not growing any kind of crop over that land, but he could have cultivated the land and earned income now, right? So what will be the main profits here is the expected crop income. If he could have, if he would cultivate some crop over that land, and he could have sold that crop in the market and have earned some money, that will be considered as the main profits, right? Next is, now the person has illegally occupied the shop, but what he is doing, he is keeping it closed. He is not running any business over that shop. Okay, so what, as he could have done with the shop, instead of keeping it closed, he could have rented it out. He could have used it for the business with ordinary diligence. Okay, so mean profits will be calculated on its market rental value. What will be the market rental value of that shop? That profit, that amount, along with the interest, will be granted to the person who is the owner of the property, right? Next is parking lot, which is not operated. Now the person has unlawfully occupying a parking lot, but he is not charging the parking fees. So whose mistake this is? Of course, the person who is in the illegal possession of it, that person will pay, because he is the wrongdoer. He has wrongfully occupied the property. So that property could have been operated uh, as the business, operated as the, from the business point of view, he could have earned from it by charging the parking fee. Okay, so that will be calculated as the mean profits, right? Next is, what is the object of granting this degree of mean profit to the person who has been deprived of his property? See, there is the person, means the owner of the property, or any other person who has the right to possess the property. He is having the right of the possession of his property. Every owner has the right to enjoy his property and the possession of his property, right? But what has been done with that person? He has been deprived to enjoy this right of possession. So now what he will be entitled to, not only the possession, of course, he wants the possession of his property, but along with the damages for the wrongful possession by the person who has occupied it wrongfully, right? So what are the mean profits? These are the compensation to the person who is the real owner of the property, who has been deprived to enjoy the possession of his property. Okay. So the object of awarding this decree, it is to compensate the person. The court is compensating the real owner of the property who has been kept out of the possession and deprived of enjoyment of his property because he was entitled to the property. Okay, right? Next. Next is, who are the persons against whom this decree of mean profits can be claimed? What first is the defendant. Of course, there is the plaintiff in the court and there is the defendant. Plaintiff who has the grievance and the defendant against whom that grievance is demanded, right? So first is the defendant. He is in the wrongful possession of the property. So when any person is in the wrongful possession of the property, he is not uh, liable to return the possession of the property alone, but he is also liable to pay the mean profit. So mean profits can also be claimed from the person who is in the wrongful possession of the property. And this wrongful possession, it lay down the very foundation of the defendant's liability, that he has to pay the mean profits to the plaintiff, right? The trespasser, against the same thing. The third is mortgager. Who is the mortgager? The person who is borrowing something from another person. Okay, and he is putting his property as a security to the other person. Who that other person is? The mortgagee. So the mortgager, he has borrowed something from the mortgagee and he is putting his property as a security, but he is still in the possession of that property, mortgage property, and now he has not repaid the amount which he has borrowed from the mortgagee. And mortgagee, he has got a decree of foreclosure from the court, but the mortgager, he is still in the possession and he is not releasing the possession of the mortgage property to the mortgagee. In that case, he will be known as the trespasser or the wrongdoer or the person who is illegally in possession of the property. Next is mortgagee. Now mortgagee, here there is a reverse position of the mortgager and mortgagee. Here the mortgager, he has paid out all the rent, but what mortgagee is doing, he is not releasing his property to him. Okay, in that case, the mortgager, he has received the decree of redemption, but mortgagee is still in the possession of his property. So now, after the decree of redemption is passed in favor of the mortgager, the mortgagee is called the illegal occupier of the property. Now, he is liable to pay the mean profits to the mortgager till the period he will remain in the possession of the property, right? Next is the tenant. See, a person who is a tenant to whom a notice to quit has been served upon by the owner of the property. But even though notice to quit has been served, he is not releasing the property. He is still holding over the property and he is holding over at will. So he will also become as the illegal occupier of the property. Okay. Now just assume the situation that the plaintiff is dispossessed by several persons who will be liable to pay the mean profits. So my dear students, those all persons who will be in the illegal possession of the property will be liable to pay the mean profits to the plaintiff, even though There is the condition, even though he might not be in the actual possession or he has not received the profits from that property, even though they all are liable. Their liability is jointly and several liability. But what right they have if the court has, passed the decree against all of them? They can, what they can do, they can go to the court and they can file a separate suit for the contribution. But what ratio of the contribution they should make to the person whose property they have occupied wrongfully? Okay, they can also file the suit to ascertain their proportion and apportion the liability of each of them. Okay, their liability, but their liability is severally and jointly liable to the person whose property they have occupied illegally and wrongfully. Okay, now what is the assessment? What is the process of assessment, or what is the rule of assessment? How the court will assess the mean profits while granting to the of person, or you can say the owner of the property? See, the court will take into account what defendant has gained or could have gained, okay, by his wrongful possession, not what the plaintiff has lost, but what the defendant has gained or what he could have gained. This is the approach of the court. Court will adopt the realistic and pragmatic approach to find out what is the amount of mean profits, right? What is the test to determine? See, the test to ascertain the mean profits. I have told you that it is not what the plaintiff has lost, but what the defendant has gained or could have gained. This is the test to determine the mean profits. It is always the defendant what he has received or what he could have received, not the what the plaintiff has lost. Just keep in mind that, right? Next are the principles. Principles which guide the court to determine the amount of profits. There are three principles. First is that no profit by a person in the wrongful possession. The person, though he is in the wrongful possession of the property, but he has not made any kind of profit out of that property. First principle is that. Second is that the restoration of the status before dispossession of the decree holder means there is a dispute between the plaintiff and the defendant, though defendant is the real owner of the property, but somehow the case has been gone into the favor of the plaintiff and he has become the decree holder, but the defendant, he has occupied his status before removing the decree holder from the property. Okay, now used to which a decree holder, now the person who is in the wrongful possession of the property, he is putting out the property to the best use of it. Okay, to the best use of it. If decree holder would have been in the possession of the property, he would also do the same, and the person in wrongful possession is also doing the same. These are the three principles which guide the court to determine what are the mean profits to be paid to the person of the real owner, to the real owner. Now what are the illustrations? See, there is a suit for title and the possession, where who is the person who in the wrongful possession, wrongful occupant is the tenant here. So now how the this mean profits would be awarded to the person? These are not on the basis of what the person has demanded, what the plaintiff has demanded, but how these are to be awarded. These are to be awarded on the basis of the rent. What is the exact value or what is the market value of the rent? If other premises is to be rented out, what rent could have that person earned? It is to be calculated on that base, not on the basis of what could have been produced out of the property and what is the value of the property, because value of the property may be high, but you cannot receive that value if you are renting out that property. Okay, clear? Okay, now when the a person he is in the wrongful possession of an agricultural land. And what he has done, he has planted the indigo on that land. Okay, which is a cheap crop. It is not a crop which gives a good benefit to the agriculturist. Okay, so how the main profits would be assessed? The main profit would be assessed on the basis of more profitable crops. And what are those more profitable crops? These are the sugarcane, wheat, or tobacco. Could we see that the person could have cultivated these crops instead of planting indigo? If he has intentionally done that, then he has to pay the main profits on the basis of what the more profitable crops could have brought to the person who is the owner of the property, who is deprived of the possession of his property. Got my point? Now the interest, how the court will determine the interest on mean profit, it shall not exceed 6% per annum. Okay, and now what are the deductions what the court will do while allowing the mean profits to the plaintiff? Mean profits, my dear students, are always the net profits. There are some deductions which are to be made by the court before granting the profits to the plaintiff. What are those deductions? See, land revenue, if the person in wrongful possession, if he is paying the land revenue to the district collector, the rent, cesses, and the cost of cultivation and reaping, the charges incurred for the collection of the rent. If court has to initiate some process to collect the rent from that person, so whatever cost has been occurred in that process, it is to be deducted from the mean profits. Okay, so out of the mean profits, after making certain deductions, what is left, that is known as the net profit, and that is to be paid to the real owner of the property. Okay, so here we end this mean profits. I hope that you have got this lecture. Thank you, students. Bye bye.